Hello and welcome. This is the Greenbrier Valley Church of the Nazarene with your daily devotion for Monday, February the 6th. Today we are reading from the Old Testament book of 1 Samuel, chapter 1. We will read verses 11 and then we will jump to verses 19 through 28. Excuse me. And here is the word of the Lord. And she made a vow, saying, Lord Almighty, if you will only look on your servant's misery and remember me, and not forget your servant, but give her a son, then I will give him to the Lord for all the days of his life, and no razor will ever be used on his head. And now to verse 19 through 28. Early the next morning, they arose and worshipped before the Lord, and then went back to their home at Ramah. Elkanah made love to his wife Hannah, and the Lord remembered her. So in the course of time, Hannah became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She named him Samuel, saying, because I asked the Lord for him. When her husband Elkanah went up with all his family to offer the annual sacrifice to the Lord and to fulfill his vow, Hannah did not go. She said to her husband, after the boy is weaned, I will take him and present him before the Lord, and he will live there always. Do what seems best to you, her husband Elkanah told her. Stay here until you have weaned him. Only may the Lord make good his word. So the woman stayed at home and nursed her son until she had weaned him. After he was weaned, she took the boy with her, young as he was, along with a 3-year-old bull, an ephah of flour, and a skin of wine, and brought him to the house of the Lord at Shiloh. When the bull had been sacrificed, she brought the boy to Eli. And she said to him, Pardon me, my Lord, as surely as you live, I am the woman who stood here beside you praying to the Lord. I prayed for this child, and the Lord has granted me what I asked of him. So now I give him to the Lord. For his whole life he will be given over to the Lord. And he worshiped the Lord there. And that is the word of the Lord. The article today is titled Holy Promises and written by Rachel Kuhn. Rachel is a pastor of Trip City Church of the Nazarene in Trip City, Ohio. Here's what Rachel writes. Chad and I stood in the aisle of our local grocery store looking down at our 3-year-old boy. With tear-filled eyes and quivering cheeks, he declared that if we brought him the candy he held in his little fist, that he would never ask for anything ever again. He promised. Hannah laid at an altar, drunk with grief, begging God to give her the one thing in the whole world she desired most, a child. This, however, was not the immature vow of a sweet-seeking child, but the honest, bleeding heart of a woman wrapped up in grief and pain. Her promise was not a hollow vow that would quickly be forgotten, but a forever sacrifice that would eventually change the course of history. We may not live in a world where vows are a common form of prayer and petition to God, but we do seek him. And we do ask for his provision. In your prayer time today, be mindful of what you are seeking and check your heart. Am I willing to return to God all that I am seeking from him today? The hymn is by Francis R. Havergal. Take my life and let it be consecrated. Take my will and make it thine. It shall no longer mine. And from Hebrews chapter 10, verse 14. For by one sacrifice he has made perfect forever those who are being made holy. And this is your daily devotion for Monday, February the 6th. Have a blessed day.